Chris Collier here, your social media icon, coming to you from Atlanta, Georgia. Doing a little different setup today. Wanted to come to you and ask you a question. What do you do when you're having a problem in your business, a challenge, a difficulty, a dilemma, an opportunity to overcome? How do you get out of a problem, a rut, a business challenge, so to speak? Let's check it out on the inside. Okay, number one, do something really physical. Go for a walk, go for a jog, go work out, go do push-ups, go do yoga, whatever it is you like to do, go do it. On the flip side of that is, because you get endorphins going and helps your mind get right, helps you think a lot better than what you were thinking. That being said, you also might want to take a hot shower or have a massage or have a foot massage, something that just relaxes you, right? Play some calm music in the background or water coming up on the shore, listening to that. So something that physically exerts energy, get the endorphins going, or something that relaxes you, puts you in a relaxed state. Those are important things to help you overcome an obstacle or a rut and get your thinking in a different place, right? Helps you. Working out is so important. A lot of times in different businesses I've run and different things I've done is everything's mental. Everything's the physical stuff you do isn't that demanding, except for maybe standing there or moving left to right, up and down. But the toll is more the time that you're on your feet. It's not a physical drain or physical energy that gets wasted. It's the fact that it's more mental, that things aren't going on and whatnot. So that is, you need to have some physical exercise or physical exertion. Hey, if you have a problem in your business, maybe you need to build something or be creative or do something relaxing. So we've covered that. So the next one's going to be work on a different issue or problem. If you have several issues, several fires in your business, what do? So when you start talking about business problems or difficulties, it could be you're working on a project. It could be that you're trying to do something and you can't get that project done, or you can't get an answer or a solution to something you're doing for a client, or you just hit a roadblock in your business where you can't get above 50,000 subscribers or $50,000 a year or $50,000 a month. You've plateaued, and so how do you get out of this rut, right? How do you get out of this place that you need to get better than what you previously been in? How do you move the chains? If you're a football fan, how do you move the chains? You got first down and 10, second down and 8, third down and 5. What are you doing to move the chains, right? If you're a baseball player, those of you who are sports fans like me, you got 3 balls, 2 strikes. What you gonna do? You got to progress. You got to move. If you're in school, you've been a freshman, you've been a sophomore, a junior, and a senior. What is it that you're doing to progress, right? In your business, are you affecting more people? What are you doing to progress? So these are the problems that we have to solve, right? And when you're looking at it, sometimes the solution doesn't come right away. So how do you do something to help you break through the rut? That's what we're going to take a look at here. So if you give me a few minutes of your time, we'll talk more about it. So here we go. Something we haven't covered yet is ask a colleague, a mentor, someone who's been in the same position as you Someone who's graduated to a bigger position, ask them how they would handle it. Someone who's like, if you're trying to make $10,000 and you're stuck at 7,500, ask someone how they press through to get to that next place. If you're looking for, look, same thing with subscribers, right? If you have 7,500 subscribers, trying to get 10,000, find someone who made that journey and ask them how they would do it in today's time. If you're trying to have 7 clients or go from 7 clients to having 10, find somebody who had 7 clients and now has 10. Find someone you can ask. Ask a colleague. Listen, if they don't treat you with kindness and give you some kind of help, if they say, listen, I'm really busy, I can't deal with you right now, but listen, I got this, I'm going to send it to you. Man, that's great. They're doing something to pay it forward. Look at, if me and you are in the same niche and after the same exact customer, which I doubt we are, but if we were, there's enough customers for both of us to be successful. There's no shortage of people. There's no shortage of money. There's no shortage of anything. People who do that, they're trying to fearmonger. They're trying to get you to believe, oh, we have limited quantities, blah, blah, blah. It may be. But if everyone wanted one, which not everyone's going to want the same thing. You may want blue, I want black. Someone else wants green, someone else wants pink. Someone else wants gold. That's just how things are. So talk to someone who's been where you've been and solve that problem. And if you don't have a friend or colleague, if you don't have a colleague or a mentor, find someone. Befriend them. Ask them for help. One of the things I do a lot, and people don't realize it, when I have a question or something, sometimes I just post it in Facebook. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? Because at the end of the day I'm trying to get feedback because someone else has entertained that same problem, had the same issue that I'm having. And you know what? If we all work together, we all can overcome and become better. We don't have to be what we've been. We can be something different. We become someone greater if we help each other. Problem is, a lot of people think these are my people, or this is my situation, this is the company I'm doing business with. If you're only doing business with that company, you're thinking kind of small. Because at any point, think about this. You say, well, my company won't go out of business. Think about this. Earlier this year, before the coronavirus happened, or came to America, or came to your country, were you thinking about being shut down, not being able to go to school or church, not being able to go out in public hardly? Listen, there's someone who's been where you've been, someone who's been where you are, and they can help you. And if you ask the right questions, you get the right answers. And if they don't help you, then you have to find someone who can. And well, there's enough people out there. And listen, if they have an answer or cost you a little something, it's not a bad thing. You say, why? Because their experience, you're paying for it. And so watch this. Once you pay for their experience, if it proves to be beneficial, then you can charge someone else for your experience in learning that same information. There's nothing wrong with it. I hope this has been helpful. Okay, this one's gonna be a little bit different. I said that you can clean and organize. Clean and organize your desk area, your office. Clean and organize your house if you're working from home. Or take your car and get it detailed. These are some of the things that once you get organization around you, it helps you focus better. It helps things move faster. I mean, think about this. When we start talking about different things we purchase for our businesses, a lot of organization involved. So you keep track of your papers so you don't get in trouble for losing your tax papers or this, that, or the other. And the flip side is also you think about a lot of the software we use in the digital marketing world is mostly to organize our thoughts and ideas so we can correctly get them out to other people. Like a content calendar or content planning calendar, or even software that helps us plan out our content and then publish it for us. It's really just organization and straightening things. So it's important. Too many times when you're not organized, you're looking here for it, you're looking there for something, and you can't find it. Why can't you find it? Because you're looking for something that if it was organized, it'd be right there. And you take time looking for something that you should have access to. And I'm just thinking, too much time spent a lot of times, and your mind's not focused on what you need to be doing because you think about, where did I put my keys? Where did I put my wallet? Where did I put this? Where did I put that? And if you would have just had it organized, have a routine, you don't have to look for your keys. You don't have to look for your wallet. You don't have to look for your purse. You don't have to look for whatever it is that was missing because you have a plan and it's organized. You have a system. That's why processes and systems are so important in business. The difference between a regular burger restaurant and a McDonald's is just systems and processes. McDonald's isn't really a restaurant. It's a real estate company. They just pay the rent by selling burgers and fries and shakes. So remember, you may need to clean your office. You may need to straighten your house up. It may be time to go get your car detailed. This might help you find the balance and the organization you need to find the problem, to get you out, the solution to that problem, to get you out of that rut. The next step is going to be one of my favorite things to do. Watch a movie, but don't just watch a movie for no reason. Find out the points in the movie that you can compare and contrast your life with. Everyone's probably seen Rocky at least once, or most everybody. And so when you think about Rocky, how he was down in the dumps and he came over the first couple movies, he came up to be not just a contender, but the champ. So how's that like your life? Find a way to learn something, even from a movie or a YouTube video. Now don't spend all day doing it. Then it's a distraction. But find something that you can learn, something you can, one thing I like to do, a guilty pleasure, don't tell anybody, but one of my guilty pleasures is to watch these people go on these talent shows, whether it be a musician, a singer, or a comedian, or choir, that make it through the ranks and win. And it's just amazing to see how these people overcome problem after problem after problem. And when you watch movies with those kind of eyes, you can kind of see, like Rudy and different movies like that, how they overcome different obstacles that are before them and didn't let it stop them when they could have just given up at any time. So, watch a movie with a thought process of coming up with a solution. Something I didn't mention yet is I said talk to a friend or loved one or spouse, but in the next video, we're going to talk about talking to a colleague. Okay, we're back. I told you we're going to talk about singing. You say, well, no one likes my singing. Singing is something important. I think it's one of the greatest things you can do as a person. I think it opens you up spiritually, mentally, emotionally when you sing. I actually love to sing, and it's one of my favorite things to do. When you really engage emotionally to a song, and it's kind of like prayer. You empty yourself out, and as you empty yourself out when you sing, you get refreshed on the inside. That's the best way I can say it. And this one may not be long at all, but if you sing or listen to upbeat music, it can change your day. There's a song by Mendisa with Toby Mac that says "Good Morning," and it's one of my favorites. And it's kind of upbeat and jazzy, and some of you are gonna laugh when you hear me say that. But if you look up the song, I think you'll enjoy it. So It's called Good Morning by Mandisa. So you want to do something that gets your blood flowing, something, and then singing along or singing out. If you're at home, if you're doing your own work at your own place, and you're not in an office, thank God, first off. And secondly, you can kind of just let it out. Unless you're on the phone with a client, then you probably don't want to do that. But when you're working on a project by yourself, when you get the opportunity, when you're driving your car and just singing your heart out, I think that's important. I think it's important to let that go, to sing a song that really just makes you feel free, makes you feel light, makes you feel fresh when you get done singing. So that's the number 7. Number 8 is going to be clean and organized. You may not like to hear that, but it's true. Let's check out in a minute. Yep, you've made it to prayer and meditation. I'm going to tackle meditation first because most people don't know what meditation is. In the Hebrew word for meditate, it speaks of, it's similar to a cow and how it has 7 stomachs, and it regurgitates the food from the first stomach into the second stomach, regurgitates it back up and puts it in the third stomach, so on and so forth, to go through all 7 stomachs. So whatever you're reading, this doesn't have to be super spiritual. If you're reading a business book, a positive motivational book, a mindset book, you've got to regurgitate that information over and over and over again until you become it and it becomes you. But I'd recommend that you use the Bible. The Bible is the best motivational book there is. It's the best book on love. It's the best book on any subject. Some people may not agree, but I would say if you don't agree, start your own YouTube channel, Facebook channel, whatever, and say what you want to say. I don't have a problem with you if you think different. It's fine. You're allowed to think differently. It's called free will. So when you meditate on something, you're regurgitating over and over again until you become it and it becomes you. You can't determine anymore the difference between what you read from Rich Dad, Poor Dad and what you think about being rich, what you think about being poor, what you think about being a business owner or an investor or a self-employed or an employee. There's nothing wrong with any of those positions. You just got to know what you can get from it and what it's going to give you back. What you're going to give it and what it's going to give you back. Now, the prayer thing. Prayer is a funny thing. You know, I heard a guy say, as long as there's tests in school, there'll be prayer in school. And I thought it was funny because I'm going to believe that prayer is just emptying yourself out of yourself, emptying yourself out of you, and asking God to come in and do something. Praying that His will be done. Praying that you'd have His mind, not yours. And so many times I've come to find out that my mind gets in the way of what God wants to do. And if this ain't for you, then that's fine. You can skip this step, but I'm just being real with you, telling you my experience in life. When I empty myself out and embrace what God is saying, then I come closer to fulfilling my life and destiny and purpose. This hasn't been a long one, but I think it's an important one. The next one is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be listen to upbeat music or sing. We'll check it out in just a minute. Read a PMA book or a business book. What's a PMA? Well, I call it Positive Mental Attitude Book. Think and Grow Rich. How to Win Friends and Influence People. The Millionaire Next Door. These are some books that help you think a different way, have you think a different mindset. Or a business book, how to get 10,000 new subscribers if there's a book you're reading about a particular social media platform, or how to build a funnel, or one I'd recommend is .com Secrets or Traffic Secrets, Network Marketing Secrets. Any of those secret books from Russell Brunson are really great. He didn't pay me for it, but I've got so much value out of it. It's helped me grow my business tremendously. So you can read a business book, a positive mental attitude book. One of the reasons why I don't do a whole lot of motivational quotes and things, I do some, but I'm not a big motivational fan, is because if your mindset's jacked up, it doesn't matter how you're motivated, because motivation will come in and get you high for a minute, and then you'll go out and do nothing. Your mindset has to be right. You have to do the right things for a consistent amount of time, and over that period of time, you'll start to do results. I have a friend, Chris Williams. He's been a mentor to me. He says, do the work, get the results, or get paid. And too often we don't do the work because our mindset's messed up. And that's why we can't overcome the problem, because we don't think we can overcome the problem, or we don't think we can attract that client. We don't think, how about thinking a new thought? How about thinking something different? How about thinking that you can? My grandma used to say, whether you think you can or you can't, you're probably right. What does that mean? The Bible says it like this: as a man thinketh, so is he. You should read a book. You should take notes from the book, because typically we only remember about 15% of what we hear, read, or write. But when or see, watch. If we write it, we tend to remember a lot more. And then if we're really good at writing, we know how to trigger different things for ourselves. We'll start having trigger points, and it'll flash back and help us remember more. So read a positive motivational book. Read a business book that has something to do with what you do. And don't think they're not associated with each other. They both are. And if you find something that's in your niche or in your realm of business, it may have something to do with some positive motivation or attitude. It may have something to do with your mindset, the way you think about something. Because I'm going to tell you a story. Most people know about the 12 tribes of Israel, and they're getting ready to go into the promised land. And they sent 12 spies. 10 of them came back and said, we can't do it. 2 said, we could. Let me explain something to you. The 10 who said they couldn't said, we saw ourselves as grasshoppers. And then in the Bible it says, and so we became grasshoppers in their sight. Isn't that interesting? How they perceive something was how it ended up playing out. So make sure you're reading the right material, the right books, the right authors, the right niche, so you can grow in your business and in your life. So in the next set of how to overcome a business rut is, for me, there's nothing much greater than reading the Bible in prayer and meditation. We'll check it out in the next step. So maybe you can call a loved one, a friend, a spouse, and talk to them. Maybe they have some insight, or maybe they can help just divert your attention, give you a break from what you're doing, give you encouragement, the love, the warmth you need. Excuse me. So you can overcome that obstacle. This is a good way sometimes to overcome something, get over something, walk into something new, is to focus on something that really matters, something that you really want to do, someone that really loves you and can motivate you, or can help you see beyond yourself so you can come up with that answer. Sometimes we get in our own way, and that loved one or spouse or that friend can say, Chris, you're just really messing up right now. You're looking at it the wrong way. And then give us a different perspective. They can look at it from a different viewpoint and help you see that different viewpoint. I found that in my life is I try to surround myself with people who look at things differently than me, so I don't always have the same view. I'm not always looking the way I see something. Because you know what? I did restaurants for quite a while in my career before I started a business. And one of the things I realized is when I walked into someone else's restaurant or someone walked into mine, they would always tell me something I didn't know or see about my restaurant, because it's kind of like in the commercials for the air fresheners, right? They say you become nose blind. Well, you become blind to things that you see every day that you don't necessarily tackle or take care of. Someone who doesn't see it from your perspective can give you a different perspective because they don't see it every day. They don't deal with it every day. And because you can see it from a different perspective, because they love, care, and want to lift you up, then you come up with your answer and you can get out of your rut. If you want to continue following along, the next one's going to be read a PMA or business book. You said, what's PMA? If you stay with me, I'll let you know. So like I was just saying, is you have to work on another problem, another fire you have. You know, sometimes you have, they say it's called putting out fires. You have different fires, different problems, different situations that you're going through in your business, in your life. And so sometimes you have to leave one and put another one out. And sometimes by doing that, you'll get the answer to the first or second one by going to the second or third one. So moving around, focusing your mind on something different. Maybe you need a challenge like a puzzle, a crossword puzzle, Sudoku, word find, something that just gets your mind off of that problem and onto another problem. I found that helps. It helps you refocus, and even though you're not thinking about it subconsciously, you're thinking about it, and the answer sometimes comes to you when you're not trying to think about it. So that's very important, because at the end of the day is you can't always be dwelling on that one thing. You got to think about something else. And sometimes the best way to solve it is to move on from it and come back to it later. Work on a different problem, work on a different thing. Maybe if you're a supervisor, you can work on something with a different associate or a different team member. If you're a business owner, you can work with a different one of your clients and come back to that other client later, when you can come up with the solution that best fits them. Because at the end of the day is you don't want to do something and just keep grinding because it's a grind. First off, you shouldn't be in business unless you enjoy doing what you do. Secondly is if it starts to be a drag, find something that's fun and exciting. I'm not saying everything you do should be fun and exciting. What I'm saying is the fun and excitement may bring fun and excitement to that and give you the answer. So if you want to continue listening to this list, the next one's going to be talk to a spouse or a loved one or a friend. We'll talk about that in just a minute.